Hello and welcome to Berlin, where the 16th Forum Solarpraxis is currently underway. I'm Jonathan Gifford, the editor-in-chief of PV Magazine. Now, for many years, Germany's been the centre of the solar industry, but that's less of the case these days. Where it still does lead the way is in storage deployment. So let's meet some of the leading providers to find out how this works and what we can learn for international markets as well.
Everybody's talking at the moment about storage. It's a very hot topic, and I would say there are two main areas of interest. One is the residential area. People have been investing a bunch in the last years into storage. There are more than 1 million PV systems out which are owned by private people, and those people are now considering not to put the electricity to the grid, but to store it and use it in the evening, at night for themselves. Electricity prices are quite high, and storage gets more and more interesting. But as well for utilities, for local cities, everybody who is somehow in the energy business wants to go back on the energy business. They have more options. They cannot just do self-consumptions. They can do peak shaving. You know, in Germany you pay for the amount of power you maximum source per year from the grid. Even if it's just for 1 second, you pay the maximum. If you can reduce it by adding storage and take the peak out, it's an income for you.
Today in Germany, the market is growing, very fast growing, and Tesla is a provider for business and industrial application for storage system. And you can use it for self-consumption, peak shaving. You can use it not only in Germany, so you can use it worldwide, the system.
And so for industrial systems, what kind of capacities are you talking about? What do you offer?
So we start right from 10 kilowatt hours for small systems, and this huge business like this one is 60 kilowatt hours, and this system is scalable, modular. So you can use the first 60 kilowatt hours, 120, 180 to 1 megawatt hour. So this is no problem.
Storage is going to be a massive enabler for a very high level of penetration of PV. In any market.
And what about aggregating distributed storage? Do you see, is that encouraging for you, the way that perhaps utilities can engage with this space, or additional value streams can be introduced to the storage value proposition?
Well, that's going to be different from country to country and probably from regulated market to regulated market. One solution was revealed in Germany this week here, which is very interesting. Other solutions will be coming. And for a company like us, ancillary grid services are certainly a potential for going forward.
As we have so much of renewable energy in the grid, the production of electricity is not very stable. You know, if sun is not shining, there is no PV power. So it makes a lot of sense to put this into a storage and provide it to the grid at a later stage. And we have customers which are then using storages like the big container we have been showing here, not just for self-consumption, for peak shaving, but as well for emergency power supply, and as well to have the grid to be stable. So there are more than one income driver, which makes it very attractive for our customers.
Andreas Heuschen, Senior Director, EMEA for Delta. Now, the E5 hybrid solution is set for release in Q1 here in Europe, Germany, France, and the UK. Why is Delta now moving into battery storage?
Okay, we see that battery storage is a perfect possibility to do the peak shaving. In fact, so get less stress from the grid, and then further also enhance the customer to use more energy from the sun in their home. So once the energy is stored, they can reuse it in the evening during peak seasons in order to get the electricity bill down.
Now, it is a hybrid solution, which means an inverter and battery system. It is also quite large at 8 kilowatt hour in terms of battery storage. Why is that the strategy from Delta?
The storage has a relatively high capacity because we can also work off-grid. So our system is one of the very seldom units which can use off-grid. So if we have a power outage, and I have quite often experienced power outages, especially in the UK, in France, but also now in Germany, then you can run out of the system even when the grid is not there. On the cell level, Delta has decided that we also move in our own cell level production. We have recently bought one of the cell level production from Mitsubishi Heavy Industry, and we are moving that production now from Japan to Taiwan. And so our goal is to really furbish a full solution for the customers on the electronic level, but also on the cell level.
And Delta from Taiwan is also increasingly involved in the e-mobility space, providing charging solutions for residential homes, e-mobility cabling, and also the charging stations that we see increasingly on street corners, even here in Berlin. I'm Jonathan Gifford, the editor-in-chief of PV Magazine at the 16th Forum Solarpraxis.